Call the meeting to order. Tonight is the City of Frankfort Board of Commissioners voting session. It's July 25th. I want to welcome everyone. And we'll start with an invocation by Reverend J.T. Silence of First Presbyterian Church. He's not here. All right, we will move on past that. Next item, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask our city clerk to call for the roll.
Commissioner Rosen.
Present.
Commissioner Unger.
Present.
Commissioner May.
Present.
Commissioner Waldridge.
Present.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Present. All right, and next on the agenda, ceremony and recognition. Does anyone have anything they want to share? Commissioner May?
Just wanted to congratulate all the graduates of the Leadership Frankfort class of 2022, including our very own Blair Hecker here at the City of Frankfort. And I know Chamber President Tish Shade as well. And it's a great program, and I appreciate the Chamber putting that on.
So I wanted to remind everyone that the meeting on the comprehensive plan is this Wednesday at the county high school.
Franklin County.
Yep. From 5:30 until 7:30, and that encourage people to go and also to fill out the survey beforehand, distilledtogether.com.
Commissioner Walker?
I would like to congratulate KSU senior selected to participate in the TMCF Leadership Institute. He's a senior biology major. Michael McLeod was recently selected to participate in the Thurgood Marshall College Fund 22nd Annual Leadership Institute. This is a 4-day leadership development conference that will take place September 28th through October 1st in New York, New York. And it is designed for students with leadership potential who want to build on their skill set. So congratulations to Mr. McLeod. And also another congratulations for Kentucky State's very own Midnight Star. They were inducted into the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. So well deserved there. They have had many concerts here in the Frankfort area. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to all of our queens. This past week was our county fair. So congratulations to all the queens and the prince that won their competitions will go on and represent Frankfort later on at another competition. I will also add that on Saturday from 9 to 12 at Bondurant Middle School, there will be a group giving away shoes for any student that needs shoes in Franklin County. So any and all students in Franklin County that is in need of a pair of shoes, you can attend Bondurant's 9 to 12 on Saturday. I think that's what I heard.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Unger.
Hey, I just wanted to go ahead and shout out to the retirees that we're going to talk about later in the personnel action. We are losing a lot of fire and EMS men, and I just want to say how much we appreciate your service. And if you get bored during retirement, you can always come back for a part-time gig. But you know, honestly, I really appreciate you guys, and I know a lot of the men retiring tonight worked with my dad for a few years, so we're seeing a good group of guys go. Just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. And any other? Okay. Next on the agenda, citizens' comments. We do have a few here, and as I call your name, you can step to the podium and just state your name, and you have 5 minutes, and we will time it.
We'll give you a 1-minute warning.
And if you're with an organization, say that too. So, Ramon Johnson, you're first on the list.
Mayor Wilkerson and esteemed members of the board, first of all, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come before you and the Frankfort community to introduce myself. My name is Ramon Johnson, and currently I am the acting athletic director at Kentucky State University. I've been on the job actually 1 year, 1 month, 24 days, and a couple of hours. So I thought it was time that we met acquaintance. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce members from Kentucky State University, starting with our General Counsel, Ms. Lisa Lane, our Senior Women's Administrator for Athletics, Ms. Jacqueline Duvall, and our Sports Information Director, Mr. Christian Flowers. I just want to extend the olive branch to the Frankfort community. One of my biggest platforms while I'm in this seat is to make sure that we embrace and acknowledge the relationship with the Frankfort community. Notice I didn't say partnership. I thought partnership was a little bit less intimate, and I want to actually establish an authentic relationship with the Frankfort community. One of those things is inviting you all to the events that we're going to have on campus, including our football games, our volleyball games, and any other event that you all see necessary to come and to participate in. I believe in Frankfort, I believe in Kentucky State University, and I want for our relationship to not only be established, but to be sustained. And the way that that's going to happen is that both parties embrace the fact that we belong to each other. Kentucky State University is Frankfort's university, and we believe that we are as much a part of this community as any other entity here in the Frankfort area. So again, thank you for the opportunity to come before you, to introduce myself, to introduce my colleagues from Kentucky State University, and I look forward to our relationship as it grows.
Thank you so much for coming, and looking forward to attending some of those games with some of our board members here, as September 3rd has been known for Frankfort Day at Kentucky State's football game, correct? September 3rd. So we're hoping that we will be participating in that. I know you and I have met, but we're going to work on that. But I just wanted everyone to know that this is probably the first time that I've been in that we've known about Frankfort Day a month or so in advance versus a couple of days. So it's exciting. We're looking to work with you and hopefully have all of our Frankfort people out there helping out and enjoying a football game. So thank you guys for coming.
When I went to the baseball field on Friday, and there was a tournament going on, and I went up and I talked to Coach Henry for a little bit. It's been a while since I've been up there. And I think we're going to try to do something for the baseball team because they had a successful year in terms of recognizing them at an upcoming meeting. I think they came in second in the World Series.
Yes, sir.
Yes, still the son of it.
That is true. This year we were invited to the HBCU World Series, and our team came up 1 point short of being the champions. But they had an outstanding year, as well as our football team. We went 7-4. We were a couple of points away from making it to the SIAC championship. Our women's volleyball team also had an outstanding season. So we're doing some great things at Kentucky State University. From the academic standpoint, we were the leaders in the SIAC as far as members on the all-academic team. We had a total of 121 athletes to actually make the all-academic team, including our valedictorian, Ms. Olivia Taylor.
Good work.
Yes. So we're doing some great things, and we want you all to know that you are more than welcome to attend any of our events and to become a part of the Kentucky State University family.
Thank you, Ramon.
The mayor said to sign him up for the community and KSU baseball team game. He's going to take a couple of rounds around the bases again. So.
For batting practices. And we have Lisa Lang signed up. Are you here to speak or just to register? You're welcome to. All right, next Richard Rosen. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm Richard Rosen, live here in downtown Frankfort. I'm here tonight to talk about the animal shelter, and I feel that this needs to be put back on the agenda, maybe at the next work session, for further discussion. And some people think that this matter has already been decided and closed, but I think it needs to be brought up again because previous discussion was based on a false premise. The city feels like they've donated $1 million to the animal shelter. Is that correct?
Oh, we have.
Okay. Yes, thank you. In reality, you've only donated $650,000 to the animal shelter. Let me explain. Originally, the Humane Society asked for the city and the county to kick in 1/4 of the cost of an animal shelter, and the city's obligation there would have been $1.6 million. That was turned down. They went back and downsized the animal shelter and came back and asked for $1.3 million. The city said they would donate $1 million, and the county came around and matched what the city said they were donating, which was $1 million. But in reality, as it turns out, the city hasn't donated $1 million. The city refused to give the Humane Society a building permit for the animal shelter until they built a blacktop road that cost $350,000. That's a road that goes to the city's wastewater pumping station. It also goes to a nature preserve, which is land that the city donated to the Woods and Waters Land Trust. It also goes to the city composting site, and it goes to city-owned property that you are leasing to the Humane Society. That road cost $350,000, and the city should have built that road. It is a road. It is not a driveway, and it's not used just by the animal shelter, which is on leased land. It's used by the city. If it was a driveway, then the Humane Society would pay for it. In fact, they will be paying for the driveway from the road to the animal shelter. But it's a city road, and you basically put a gun to the head of the Humane Society and said, build the road or we won't give you a building permit. So when you're talking about this with the community, I feel like you're misrepresenting the amount of money that the city gave to the Humane Society for the new animal shelter. $650,000 is a fraction of what the city really should have given to the Humane Society, instead of saying they gave $1 million and then really forcing $350,000 of that to be used for a road that the city should have built themselves. So please put it back on the agenda for further discussion and review.
Thank you, Mr. Rosen. And next, we have Leslie Driscoll.
Hello, I'm Leslie Driscoll. Pretty much been a lifelong resident of Frankfort, Franklin County. And I want to say hi to our KSU people here. I attended KSU in the 80s, and my son is a graduate of there and knows Miss Jackie. I'm Vice President of Franklin County Humane Society, and I wanted to reiterate what Mr. Rosen has said, that it is a lease of the land for 50 years, and we have paid for the building. We're not a developer. We're not making a profit off of development of the area around the road. So we're not going to make any money back from developing this area. And I just wanted to point it out that we're a nonprofit just trying to offer a service for the city and the county and not looking to make a profit like a developer would of putting in their own road and then selling off lots. So that's why I feel this is part of the city's duty to pay for this road. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Patrick Tierney.
My name is Patrick Tierney. I'm with Tierney Storage. We are the owners of the Duncan Road property that, if you haven't heard about it, then you may not have been reading the newspaper. But we have gone in front of the Planning and Zoning Committee recently, and I'm here to address the reappointment of Tim Lusher to the Planning and Zoning that is on the agenda for this evening. In the most recent Planning and Zoning meeting, they have a finding of facts, which I'm sure you're aware of. It is a fact that is stated. The first item that was up was the comprehensive plan use map designates the property as a future employment center. It's a map. It clearly states that it was a future employment center. Now, everybody may not agree with it for the future, but that's the way it is as it is right now. Mr. Lusher voted no, that was not a fact. Number two, the subject property is adjacent to an established industrial park in Franklin County. Mr. Lusher was provided maps. He never contacted me as a person to come out and view the property, considering, if you're going to be doing a zoning change, I would kind of expected to hear from some people, and I did hear from other people, to come look at the property so they know it literally touches an industrial park. Mr. Lusher voted no. Now that I see that he's being brought up for reappointment, it makes me wonder, does Mr. Lusher need to be reappointed? Is he not giving the effort to go out and look at these properties and understand what he's doing for the Planning Commission? Or does Mr. Lusher have a different type of agenda? I ask that you reconsider your appointment of him this evening and do what's best for the community. I want someone that gives the effort to show up, to ask me to see the property, to ask questions when it says that it is not next to an industrial park. I've built 700,000 square feet in the industrial park that touches the property on east, west, and north sides of it. He voted on both sides. He voted again on a second time that no, it did not touch on the industrial park. If you can consider that in your appointment, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Tierney? That's all for citizens' comments. Now move on to the consent calendar.
Mayor.
Commissioner Waldridge?
I would like to move, where is it at?
Number 2 on the action item.
Is it? Is it number 2?
Yes, it's number 2 on the action.
Yes, I'm sorry, my number 2 is covered up. Could I move number 2 on the action items up to now before we go into our consent, please, on behalf of Kentucky State University, so we can hear this MOA and then allow them to get back to their campus if they need to.
Does anyone have an objection to that request?
That's fine.
And we'll do that.
Great.
Well, action item number 2.
I also want to thank Laura Ross for her leadership in working with Kentucky State to find a solution that works for Kentucky State and the city. We're really excited to move this forward, to have the MOA with Kentucky State, and hopefully get the pool back opened up.
So we have a motion.
To approve?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
And a second by Commissioner May. Is there any discussion on this action item?
I just want to say, again, reiterate, thank you, Laura, for continuing to get this through and seeing this through with Ms. Lang that was here earlier. We thank you so much for getting this done, as this is not just a partnership, but a start of a relationship that we get to move forward while Kentucky State's rebuilding, moving in the right direction. So I want to thank everyone that will be on board in this, and we look forward to hopefully seeing what this can lead to as far as the Exum Center and our community.
Yes, and I'd like to add to that, I'm really pleased from the standpoint of the community that has no swimming pool other than just from May through September, maybe through September.
Yeah.
And that this is something that, an area we can certainly work together and create more swimmers.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? No? Okay, seeing none. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger? Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that motion carries. And, all right. Now we'll
Moving
move
forward.
on to the consent calendar.
Item number 1 on the consent calendar are the minutes from the special meeting on June 2nd, 2022, the special meeting on June 9th, 2022, the work session from June 13th, 2022, and the regular meeting June 27th, 2022. Second item is a memorandum of agreement Public Works staff is seeking approval of a memorandum of agreement with the property owners of 236 Laffoon Drive and for the mayor to sign all related documents. Public Works plans to install a new storm sewer system and memorialize an easement of an existing storm sewer between 236 Laffoon Drive and 307 Patricia Street. There is no financial impact to the city, and we promised to restore the property as it was before the work was done. Item number 3, the Public Works Department is also seeking approval to enter into a contract with Roadway Management Technologies, who has a program that provides real-time pavement performance analysis, asphalt preservation strategies, and increased productivity through monitoring fleet performance. The real-time pavement performance analytics uses vehicle-mounted sensors to passively collect vibration data that is used to measure the quality of each road. This system includes an online map that enables staff to utilize the data to determine the best course of action. It is a cost of $32,200, and it was budgeted in the fiscal year 23 budget. Item number 4, for our retirement plan changes. Last work session, our HR Director, Kathy Fields, presented a proposal to modify our existing 401A plan. In August of 2018, the City of Frankfort began a 401A employer match program for employees in Tier 3 of the Kentucky Public Pension Authority's retirement plan. These are full-time employees who began participation after January 1st, 2014, and we approved this voluntary program offering a 50% employer match for up to 4% of a Tier 3's earnings to supplement the less robust retirement package offered to them through KPPA. Just provide a little bit of information for those who may be listening that currently the city is making employer contributions to KPPA of 49.59% of wages for hazardous employees and 26.79% of wages for non-hazardous employees. And what we're planning to do is to propose the employer 401 contributions for all new full-time hires during their 12-month probationary period of 24% for hazardous employees and 13% for non-hazardous employees. And following the probationary period, we propose maintaining that existing 50% match on up to 4% earnings. We estimate also that the city, since we will not be contributing the full pension amount during the probationary period, that the city will save up to $200,000. But it also provides a great bonus to our new employees as an attraction tool, as this is direct money into savings account, retirement savings account. Item number 5, the Broadway Bridge project. The purpose of this item is that in May on March 25th, 2019, and the Board of Commissions approved of a not-to-exceed payment to KYTC of $25,000 for an in-depth bridge inspection and to approve the needed budget amendment to the general fund. And KYTC then did the work actually on March 1st, 2021 through May 2nd. So after 2 years later, after it was approved by the previous commission. And so we recently received the bill, so we would like to pay for the bill, which at a cost of $25,000. Item number 6, staff requests City Commission to authorize a memorandum of understanding with the Franklin County Fiscal Court regarding filing of the 2022 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant in the amount of $10,816, and it's for community policing. Some of you all probably know that we switch back and forth between the city and county to apply for these funds, to receive these funds, and last year we received it, and so this year it'll be the county receiving these funds. Item number 7, purpose of this memo is to request Board of Commissioners approval for a professional services contract for improvements near Broadway and High Street. Sewer improvements. The project will be divided into 2 phases that address multiple issues between Broadway, Washington Street and the river, as well as Broadway and Ann and High Street. This project was in the capital improvements plan and was budgeted for design in the fiscal 23 budget or 22 budget, and then asking for us to be able to actually do the work in fiscal year 23. Once the amendment is approved, it'll be a contract of $198,260 to do the much needed sewer work in that area. Item number 8, staff is seeking approval for an amendment to the professional services contract with Coyle and Associates for the ongoing assistance with sewer department projects. This agreement has been renewed each year to continue this service. Since its first contract in 2018, the hourly rate has not changed, and Coyle and Associates has requested an hourly increase from 110 per hour to 130 per hour. And the sewer department did budget in their fiscal year 23 budget for this increase. Item number 9, staff is seeking approval to waive the payment in lieu of taxes for 2021 for the Housing Authority of Frankfort in the amount of $11,500. This is something annually that the commission has approved with the Housing Authority. Item number 10, staff is seeking authorization for the police department to enter into a 5-year agreement with Motorola Solutions for unlimited cloud-based video storage. Motorola Solutions will upgrade all body-worn cameras and hardware accessories for the current model at no additional cost. The total cost for the storage is $47,413.50. You know, the police department's current body cam technology is outdated and the hardware is beginning to fail. And in order to upgrade the hardware to the latest technology, we must upgrade our storage solution to the cloud-based version of Evidence Library. Item number 11, we do have a number of retirements today, and I know, as some of you all have already spoken, we all appreciate the years of service that everyone has given. It's certainly, when I have to read these, it means a little bit more because I actually know almost everybody on this list, and especially like to recognize Assistant Fire Chief Sean Caldwell, who's retiring after 29 years with the city, and really appreciate his service. But as well as also personal action, item number 1, the retirement of Mike Chapman from Public Works and Garage on July 31st, 2022 as Garage Superintendent, and authorized payout of accrued leave. We certainly thank Mike for his service. Recognizing accepting the retirement of Gary Gephardt, Fire EMS, on July 31st, 2022 as Fire Captain, and authorized payout of accrued leave. And we certainly thank Captain Gephardt. Accept the retirement of Chuck Thompson in Fire and EMS on July 31st, 2022 as Battalion Chief, and authorized payout of accrued leave. Thank you, Chief Thompson. And the retirement of Sean Caldwell, Fire EMS, on July 31st, 2022 as Assistant Fire Chief, and authorized payout of accrued leave. Also accepting the retirement of Richard Frost in the Fire EMS on July 31st, 2022 as the Fire Training Officer, and authorized payout of accrued leave. And we certainly thank Officer Frost for all of his years of service. Also accepting the retirement of Dale Southworth in Fire EMS on July 31st, 2022 as Fire Sergeant, and authorized payout of accrued leave. Thank you, Sergeant Southworth. Also accepting the retirement of Todd McFarland in Fire EMS on July 31st, 2022 as a Firefighter 3, and we authorize payout of accrued leave. And thank you, Firefighter McFarland. Also accepting the resignation of Justin Stanley in the Sewer Department on July 12th, 2022 as a Maintenance Tech 2, authorized payout of accrued leave. And also the promotion of Ryan Adams in Public Works and Street on July 19th, 2022 as a Heavy Equipment Operator to promotion to a Streets Assistant Superintendent.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on the consent calendar? Seeing none. Let's clerk the call for a vote.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. Consent calendar is adopted. And next,
I just wanted to add and mimic what the city manager was saying. We appreciate the service of all of our firefighters that are retiring. With this class, we all attended their banquet and they won many awards, many hours of service that they've done. It was very impressive, and I just want to say thank you for your time and for serving our community. And as Commissioner Unger stated, please come back if you have time.
really. Call for a vote. Oh, wait.
Oh, we already did.
We just did that,
I
didn't we?
just
That's right.
stated.
We're moving on.
Our boards.
I guess
That
we
was
should
during
have said it
discussion.
before we
Okay.
voted.
Boards and commissions. First, we have Franklin County Planning Commission, the reappointment of Timothy Lusher expiring July 1st of 2026.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion
second that.
and a second by Commissioner Rosen. Is there any discussion on this reappointment?
Well, just the comment that the planning commission has a lot facing them, and to keep an experienced person is a good thing to do.
And the experienced person isn't always the white person.
Any other discussion?
Call for
Let's
a
go
vote.
for the city, seeing none. City clerk, please call for vote.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger? Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. And that reappointment carries. And next, the Board of Zoning Adjustments, appointment of Harry Carver.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second Commissioner.
Confusion.
Any discussion on this appointment? He's filling a vacant term.
Okay.
Okay. Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger? Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. And that appointment carries. Now we'll go back to action items. The number one, we have a second reading. I'll turn it over to our city attorney.
An ordinance amending City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances, Section 37.31, 37.32, and 37.34 related to officer and employee pay structure, classification, and compensation. This ordinance amends City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances, Section 37.31 and 37.32 to delete references to the previous job classification charts and salary schedule Q and replace them with City of Frankfort's salary schedule, incorporating all full-time job classifications, pay ranges, and pay grades. Amend Section 37.32 to delete the requirement that any monthly or annual salary rates displayed in the previous schedule are computed based upon full-time schedule, and the requirement that part-time and seasonal employee pay rates are set by the HR director and city manager. And amend Section 37.34 to remove the midpoint limitation for job offers and to require that an existing regular full-time employee pay rate shall be adjusted to meet or exceed the pay of a similarly qualified new hire in the same job classification rather than to 5% above the pay rate of the new hire.
Motion, Commissioner Waldridge, second Commissioner May. Any discussion on this action item? Seeing none, clerk, call for a vote, please.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. And we'll go now to action item number 3.
Thank you. The purpose of this agenda item is to inform the Board of Commissioners of 2 previously issued emergency purchase orders on July 8th, 2022, to purchase 1 new police cruiser and equipment upfitting to replace 1 cruiser damaged beyond repair, and to approve the needed budget amendment to fund in capital improvements. On May 18th, 2022, the police department lost 1 vehicle to an accident. On June 22nd, another one when a tree fell on it. And essentially, the insurance company has both of them paid the insurance proceeds, and we do have enough to actually buy 1 new vehicle. Frankfort Ford had 1 available. Unfortunately, they don't have 2 available, so we take what we can get. And so at this time, we're seeking approval for the purchase of the 1 vehicle.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner. A motion?
Second.
And a second, Commissioner May. Any discussion?
Well, I'd just like to say I went on a police ride-along on Tuesday of last week and realized how important they are for setting community standards and knowing what's going on in our community. So I think buying a new car is money well spent.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you call for the vote, please?
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. The motion carries. And action item number 4.
Staff is seeking approval from the Board of Commissioners to establish a minimum unrestricted fund balance policy. This item was previously presented to the BOC on July 11th, 2022 as a discussion item with our Finance Director, Alicia Boyd. just a friendly reminder, industry guidelines recommend establishing a fund balance policy in the general fund to mitigate any current or future risk, such as unanticipated revenue shortfalls or unanticipated expenditures. And this policy helps us to ensure tax rates on citizens and businesses remain stable and are not subject to extreme fluctuation. We have discussed this before, and we're really looking forward. I want to thank our finance director, Alicia Boyd, for being forward-thinking. This is something really important, and adopting this policy will allow us to have the discussion in August of some of those one-time capital improvement purchases we would like to make, and we can do it in a safe and prudent manner.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Aldridge.
I'll second.
Yes, second, Commissioner Rosen. Any discussion on this?
Well, I think it's good that we'll know roughly how much money we have there that we can allocate to projects that didn't fit into our normal yearly budget. And everyone is thinking of how they can spend it, probably more than once.
Well, and hopefully, on an ongoing basis, you would be able to do that as well, because if you've established that minimum fund balance level that we want to stick to, which we changed it to 3 months, it's roughly 12 million as of now. Of course, that'll grow as the operating expenses grow. But beyond that, you guys, future commissions as well, you would, be able to say, hey, we feel comfortable using X amount of dollars, $500,000, $1 million, whatever, and know that we've still got the rainy day fund set aside. So I believe it's a very good financial policy currently and going forward as well, ma'am.
And when are we going to set that every year, establish what the next fiscal year's minimum balance is going to be?
So the policy reads that when we present the audit, that we will discuss whether we're above that minimum fund balance at that point in time or not. We can do it all together, because as the auditors come through and they do their audits, there may be some audit adjustments that are requested of us. So it's an even more concrete number at that point in time. I've got a good idea now, but it's a very concrete number at that time. And then that's something that we can, myself and future finance directors would be able to let the commission know at that point in time. And it would be it's not a moving target in a bad way. It would be based on operating expenses, obviously, as I stated, those will go up. You expect those to go up, but it would be a steady increase, not the kind of fluctuations we might have otherwise. So we would just set that every year or look at it every year and then make sure that we're at least above that minimum amount each year. And that would be done typically in the fall or right around when the audit's released, usually in December.
I think this is great because you can have too much money in reserves that's not very productive, earning very little, and that if we can do something and make an investment in the community, and this gives us and future commissions the justification to do that. I think it's a great move.
Yeah, yes, sir. I totally agree.
Any other discussion? I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote.
Okay. Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
Thank you all so much.
All right, action item number 5.
Staff is seeking approval for the mayor to sign the deed for the land to build the new transit center and parking garage. As many of you all know, on June 29th, 2022, KYTC city grant agreement was fully executed in order for the city to be able to provide the design build team a notice to proceed once the procurement process is completed. The city must verify that the necessary piece of property on parcel B has been legally transferred to the city. Laura Ross, our city solicitor, has prepared this deed for which New Frankfort Development and the city are signatories. And a copy of this deed was provided to KYTC. They don't have any further comments. This deed, when approved, will be signed by the mayor and New Frankfort Development and will be filed in the county clerk's office. Once this deed has been done, the mayor will sign the deed of restrictions and submit it to KYTC for their signature as well. So we're excited. This is an important part of the process to, once we award the design build contract, that we can now actually have that built because we own the land.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Waldridge. Motion to approve, and a second by Commissioner Rosen. Is there any discussion on this action item? Receive the deed.
I think this marks an important point that we're moving ahead on parcels B and C and that whole project, so it's, I'm glad we've made it this far.
Okay, call for vote, please.
Commissioner Rosen?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger? Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Waldridge?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes. And that carries. And that is the end of our action items. We're moving on to new business.
I was wanting to research a little bit for our energy goals and working towards our resolution about maybe having a website, something that the community members can go to with where we're at, you know, and updates as we move along. Can have some important, you know, pretty standard Q&A or common questions, and just kind of keep it open for people to see what's going on. I don't know if that's an opportunity to do internally or reach out to someone that we've partnered with before in creating websites, but would like to see that community piece out there.
No, I know there's some changes planned for the website, and certainly this would fit in. What is the timeline for that?
The staff is currently working on the website. Probably in the next month to 2 months it'll be unveiled. But what might be helpful is that to sit down and speak with you all to get a little bit more specific about what's the type of information that you're looking to share for the community, and then can sit down with Blair and Bobby and Courtney to understand what kind of information we can put out there that's easily accessible for us to update and will be useful for the community.
It sounds like a good opportunity to share progress and information, build support.
Absolutely.
Any other new business?
I have two
Okay.
items.
Commissioner Waters.
I would like for us to start really being intentional with our relationship with Kentucky State. And so I had a meeting with some Kentucky State alumni, and one sent a letter. They're wanting us to participate in the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk. And it said that the Kentucky State University Alumni 3K Breast Cancer Awareness Walk was founded in 2019 during the KSU Homecoming Weekend. The co-creators of the event are KSU alumni Tyree Nasson Buchanan and Crystal Woodward. Prior to the inaugural event, the walk, both were separately leading different workout groups at KSU's Homecoming Weekend to promote healthy lifestyles and to raise awareness and support surrounding breast cancer. With Homecoming occurring in October, they both united to bring the organization together and be deliberate about the spotlight of breast cancer. Crystal was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer in 2019 and began treatment. The KSU hosted a breast cancer awareness walk in 2019 and 21. Funds were raised and they were donated to U of L Health to support the triple-negative breast cancer, provide transportation assistance to those treatments. On Friday, the 14th of October, 2022, KSU will host a breast cancer and prostate cancer 3K walk run. The goal is to expand partnerships and increase participation among KSU and the community, as well as to assist in uniting KSU and the city of Frankfort. African American women are affected by triple-negative breast cancer 3 times the rate of Caucasian and Asian women, and African American men are increased risk of developing prostate cancer over white men and other men of color. 1 in 7 black men will develop prostate cancer in his lifetime. In addition to the walk, we are actively promoting a healthy KSU throughout the year. He had sent me a link for it, and then it said, since then, we've been talking for a couple of months, and we're sad to say that we lost Crystal Woodward. We lost her on July the 11th, 2022. So we will be dedicating this race now that we have lost her, but her strength and her fight still moves on with us to save other people and to let people know her story and her fight. And we will dedicate it this year's breast cancer and prostate cancer in her memory, and to keep strength and desire to always help others during this event in challenging times. So with that being said, I would like us to be intentional in our relationship with Kentucky State, and I would like to put this on Blair's lap to sort of get her starting in on these conversations. Blair usually works with homecoming events, and she likes when she can get them in advance, so
That's
we can
great.
plan with her. So I'd like Blair to start planning us. And usually they have this event on Kentucky State's campus.
Okay.
And I suggested that we have it as part of campus and the city. And I'd like to maybe start maybe at the Capitol and come down to High Street and go up Thoroughbred Trail and through
yeah.
Kentucky State
I'll
to
talk to
help
Blair
that.
and Rebecca. That's
Yeah,
great.
so I think we can do it. We did look at it on a map and it works out for the 3K. So
Okay, perfect.
I'd like that to be on her lap. And then another thing is also Kentucky State, for us to be intentional, is to put also on Blair's lap Kentucky State University Day for September 3rd, the football game. And for us to start planning that and seeing how we can make that day special for Frankfort to grab more people at the football game. Hot dogs, hamburgers, maybe some floats and different things like that. So
Also want to let you know, we've been in discussions with Kentucky State. We have already designed flags, so
Yep.
the students will be coming in August 13th, I
Yep.
think is the first day of
Yep.
school here, so to put flags downtown.
Yes.
And to welcome all the new students.
I'm super excited about that. And so we'll continue working hopefully on the homecoming ones as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Pushing those out, because Blair and I have been talking about that for the past couple of years. And so now COVID's done, we can move forward and get our community to be green and gold. So,
And thank you all. Any others? All right, any unfinished business? All right, see none.
speeding on Collins Lane, can we write that down for Dusty to follow up on that? I had a couple of people reach out to me on Collins Lane at the Reed stop sign. They're running that stop sign more and more, and he almost got hit by someone coming out of his driveway.
Okay.
So if we could put that down as a,
And I'll follow up in an email. There are several speeding
yeah,
complaints in several neighborhoods, so
yeah,
it seems to
definitely,
be,
yeah.
In general, people aren't driving, respectfully.
Okay.
All right, now we can go into executive session if no one has any other unfinished business.
I ask that we go into executive session pursuant to KRS 83A.1504D for the purposes of conducting a performance evaluation of the city manager and KRS 61.A101G, discussions between a public agency and a representative of business entity and discussions concerning a specific proposal. If open discussion would jeopardize the siding, retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business, the discussion pertains to a business proposal related to the implementation of the downtown master plan. Action may be taken in open session. Guess I
Second.
should clean my glasses.
All those in favor say aye.
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 We're now going to executive session.
Can we just do that
Stay in
here? We can just do that here. I wanted to make one addition to our new business that was left out, and this is for Wayne, our chief for fire. And I would like for them to look, and we'd got an email today from John Sefton, and I would like to support looking into what it would cost to add the baby box, to install a baby box on our fire station. I think that this would be a great addition, and even the Capital City Christian is even looking to even help purchase it, or, if we can purchase one with our new fire department going up here downtown, they would like to purchase one maybe at the Frankfort Regional. I think they're going to ask that. So I would just like us to move forward, since we are building that new area, for us to start looking into that. I think that would be a great addition to our community.
I just had a
I think
question.
Sarah Ross already investigated this.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I was just going to tell you all that we've sent away for a packet. So
Yes.
Oh,
we
yay.
are already at least.
Frisco, because we've already been.
All right, so great. Yeah, that email came out today and we spoke, and I just thought it was a great idea. And there's been so many in use all over America lately, and I just think it'd be great for our community.
What
So
is a
thank you for
baby
being on top
box?
of that and
No.
doing that so quickly.
Absolutely, Commissioner Unger.
A baby box?
Yeah.
It's a safe place for a mother or father to put the baby in the box, and it's safe, and they won't have any repercussions of turning the baby over at the fire station. So it's a box, you lay your baby in it, and then they close it, and it alarms the fire department in there that there's a baby there, and then they'll call Child Protective Services and things like that to come in
Oh, so
and
it
to help.
is
It's a
like
safe
for
haven.
family.
It's a
It's
safe haven for a baby, that a
giving
mother
away
that does not
babies.
want the baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and they're being used more often. So that came up today, but I appreciate it. The staff are on it,
We're
so
on it.
appreciate it. So, and I think with that, is anyone, other commissioners have anything else to add? I'll move for adjournment. Ask
I
for
move we
adjournment.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting's adjourned.